I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the visual, the inspiration that made ladies sing the blues. I'm the spark that makes your idea bright. The same spark that lights the dark so that you can know your left from your right. I am the ballad in your box, the bullet in the gun, the inner glow that let you know to call your brother son. The story that just begun, the promise of what's to come. And I'ma remain a soldier till the war is won. Chop, chop, chop. Flip. Chop, chop. Go flip. Chop, chop, chop. Chop, chop, chop.
The Boondocks is an adult animated sitcom created by Aaron Magruder, centered around the misadventures of two young African-American males who moved from South Chicago to live with their grandfather in a primarily white urban neighborhood. This show became highly controversial due to its heavy use of the N-word, use of racial stereotypes, sensitive subject matter, and a creator not afraid to offend anyone. In my opinion, this show is a work of art, but today we will assess it from the 3 theories of art to see if it can objectively be called art. The theory of intent determines that there must be a reason behind the work of art. When facing this theory, one can say that the Boondocks is meant to be a reflection of Black culture and the issues surrounding it in a satirical manner. In a news interview by ABC, Aaron Magruder, the creator of the show, states, "This isn't the N-word show. N-word, 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 N-word. I wish we could expand our dialogue as the same conversation we've had over the past 30 years about race in our country. I just hope to expand dialogue and hope that the show will challenge people to think about things they wouldn't ever think about, or to think about it in a very different way." If we are to take Magruder for his word, then the Boondocks would be considered a work of art based on the theory of intent. This is due to the creator's clear intent of sparking conversation with the show. The theory of quality claims that art is determined by the quality of its technique. Originality is also taken into consideration when reviewing technique. The art style of the show is very influenced by Japanese animation, or as is more commonly known as anime. This is because of Magruder's love for watching animes and reading mangas. Despite these influences, the Boondocks manages to keep its own aesthetic and identity. This has led to the show having its own distinct style that can only be linked to the show itself. The writing in the show can be considered a product of its time. It shares use of stereotypes and sensitive subject matters for comedy with shows such as The Dave Chappelle Show. While this can make the show seem dated, topics that are still relevant today, such as gays in the hip-hop community, can give the show a timeless feel. Taking all of this into account, the Boondocks can be considered art based on the theory of quality. This is because of recognizable art style and writing that can show its age and remain timeless at the same time. The theory of critical response says that both critics and the masses should both come together to judge and critique art. Forms of this are reviews and star ratings. With the controversial nature of the Boondocks, it is guaranteed that not everyone will like the show. However, the response from the average person is overwhelmingly positive, as on Rotten Tomatoes, the average audience score was 80%, and IMDb gave it an 8.3 out of 10. Critics, while still positive, weren't as high on the show. Rotten Tomatoes gave them 54%, while Metacritic gave the show a 72%. Based on these scores and the theory of critical response, the Boondocks should be considered art. After fulfilling all 3 theories of art, the Boondocks can now officially and objectively be considered art. Thank you and have a great day.